Motel here from the Toy Talk Guys podcast. If you are a longtime listener of the cast, I love you. And if you're not, you're still here, welcome. As of the recording of this video, we did receive some unfortunate news. Dave Mallow, a retired American voice actor, has passed away. Now, this talented professional had quite an extensive body of work, but what is certainly sticking out to me in this moment is that he was the voice of Babu from Power Rangers, as well as multiple different characters and monsters across not only Mighty Morphin, but others like Turbo, In Space, all the way up to Wild Force. Definitely some heavy hitters here. I'm seeing Grumblebee, Lizinator, Trumpet Top, Rhino Blaster, Terror Blossom, the list goes on. But the other big name that jumps out to me, Pudgy Pig. This man voiced Pudgy Pig. Man, any longtime listener of the Toy Talk Guys podcast will tell you that Pudgy Pig has to be in the top 5 of my most favorite monsters from the Power Ranger series. Now, while this is very sad and troubling news, I did want to, in some way, pay my respects, because this man has brought me so much joy throughout my life, voicing some of my most favorite characters from one of the greatest children's live-action series of all time. I remember so vividly tuning in to every single episode that was dropping for Power Rangers when it was originally airing. I was definitely captivated, but I think the absolute game changer for me was when the Pudgy Pig episode dropped. Food Fight. Absolutely obsessed with that. I thought that pig was so cool looking, and I just could not stop watching that episode. And of course, Mr. Dave Mallow's voice is burned into my skull with that squealing pig. And I'm not going to do an impression because I will not be able to do it justice, but it's so easy to hear it in my head of how that pig sounded when he's just eating garbage and threatening the Earth's entire food supply. The stakes remained incredibly high that episode. I'd now like to turn your attention to the small sampling of my Power Rangers VHS collection. These are the original 5 VHSs that got put out back in '93. Power Rangers was exploding in popularity at this time. I remember it being on TV all the time, but also my mom would record a lot of these episodes on VHS for me to watch again and again. And it's hard for me to remember if it was actually airing or if it only aired, once a day. I don't remember. But these VHS dropped. So kids had the show on TV. Kids had the toys that were coming out, the role play stuff, but they also had these VHSs that got released. Now, I know I was at the age where I obviously didn't have money of my own, and I remember begging my mom to pick up one of these VHSs. And I'm sure you can make an educated guess as to which one I desperately wanted. Unfortunately, these VHS tapes were a hard no in my mom's eyes. The show's on all the time. And not only that, but we record a lot of these on videotape already. So what do you need these for? And I remember telling my mom, but look at that awesome cover that we're going to get. I can still remember her just rolling her eyes. To be honest with you, I could not even get her to rent these videotapes. I remember back in the day, these were by me first seen at a West Coast video that was in my neighborhood. And I could not get her to budge on renting that from me. And I can't blame her. It's not like these were half priced because they were just TV episodes. These were like a full-on rental. So it was like whatever it was back in the day, like $3.99, $4.99 for renting this. And it was, they got like run times of under like 30 minutes. Because I'm sure in my mom's eyes, or all parents' eyes, it's like, no, you rent a movie. You want a full-length movie. You want to get your money's worth. You're not getting your money's worth if you're renting these. I can only imagine how frustrating it must have been. I just remember watching Power Rangers all the time, so it makes complete sense why I was denied these. Yeah, these were definitely the things that you just crossed your fingers for when you had your birthday party at the bowling alley. Just hopefully some kid picked these up for you because your parents were not wasting an opportunity to buy a movie on one of these. But I was eventually fortunate enough to find most of these at garage sales and flea markets, months or years later. So I was still a kid enjoying Power Rangers at the time I was finding these, so they would all get watched very heavily. Obviously, Food Fight and Happy Birthday, Zach. My copy is so beat up, it's crazy. So there's a lot of miles put on all these. I haven't really done too much extensive research on this, but were these kind of like ahead of their time with owning physical media of like television shows? Like, were these some of the first? I don't know. I'd have to look into it. But as soon as I heard the word of Mr. Dave Mallow passing, and I saw all the work that he's done with a show that I love dearly, my immediate thought was just all the memories I had watching this show, and in particular these VHSs. Lots of memories tied to these, holding them in West Coast Video and in the store and just admiring them, looking at the pictures, the illustrations, the insane morphing sequence that's broken out here that just doesn't make any sense is so good. Maybe I'll do a video reviewing each of these individually in the future at some point, just because they are so good. Hold them all very near and dear to my heart. So I just want to say thank you, Mr. Dave Mallow, for all the work you've done and all the memories you've created for me and the enjoyment you've provided for me, and I'm sure the rest of the fan base as a whole. If you guys stayed till the end, I certainly appreciate it. Please search Toy Talk Guys in your podcast app of choice, and I will see you in the next one.